So I was planning on doing a video today talking about the Stubble Buddies' rise to success again after being dead for about 2 years. It really didn't do anything, and then we went viral on TikTok, and all of a sudden we're having all sorts of issues like trying to keep it in stock and with the whole China tariffs thing. But I want to talk about that because I think there is a really great business lesson in there, but something else has kind of been on my mind. And I wanted to talk a little bit about it because there's just a life lesson in it. Tomorrow morning, I am flying up to Philadelphia to go home. I'm from Philly, for those of you who didn't know. And the reason is because one of my friends died. Friends that I went to high school with, friends that I hung out with. He passed away yesterday, or actually he passed away a few days ago. And his funeral is tomorrow. And it's weird. There's a lot of things that are weird about it. And I kind of just want to talk a little bit because, I don't know, I guess, why do I want to talk about it? Because once again, it's just another example of life is so fucking short. 8 months ago, my friend didn't have anything wrong with him, or he didn't know that anything was wrong with him. He had a little bit of a backache. He thought it was because he was helping his daughter move into her dorm and he was putting up curtains, and he thought that he pulled something. It never went away. He went to the hospital. Turns out he had what is called bile duct cancer. And it's pretty rare. It's not good though. You know, there are some cancers that okay, you get and you can treat them. This one is one of those ones that you can treat it, but the prognosis is not amazing. And 8 months later, he was gone. And it really just makes me, thankful, honestly, that I'm healthy, that I know of. I just yesterday went and had my physical done. I got all my blood work done because once a year I go in and get that done because if you catch things, a lot of things early, you can treat them and you can fix them. It's just the not knowing that really, gets you. And a lot of times when you realize that, oh, there is a problem, then it's maybe too late or there's not as much that can be done. And so yesterday I just went in for my annual physical, and I was pretty nervous to get the results because I'm like, oh, this is happening. And it's not just my friend Jason. Steven passed away a few years ago, another example. A close friend of mine, Ellen, passed away about 3 years ago, another example. You never know when time is up. And when I think about my life, and when I think about, all the things that I think really matter, or the things that I get super upset with, or, get frustrated because, oh no, I'm going to get a tariff on, the Stubble Buddies, or whatever it is. When something like this happens, or you realize that you're not healthy, or somebody close to you gets sick, it really puts things in crystal fucking clear perspective that all that other shit, all the stuff doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it really doesn't matter. Does it mean that you're not going to, have bad days? Does it mean that you're not going to, get frustrated from time to time? No, of course not. But it just really, it just makes me think. And ever since I realized that, I was told that my friend was, there was nothing more they could do for him, and he was going home, and hospice was coming in. This was basically for about 3 weeks now. He's been, kind of in this, I've been in this, everybody who loves him and knows him has been in this limbo, just kind of waiting. And for the past 3 weeks, I've been really anxious. I've been super uncomfortable because, if you've ever experienced or had somebody close to you that's passed away, whenever it gets close, or that, okay, they're not gonna get better, it gets weird, right? It gets really weird. You feel, you almost have this nervous energy and this almost pit in your stomach. When my wife's mother, she was getting ready to pass away, same thing kind of happened. When Steven passed away, same thing kind of happened. And for the past 3 weeks, the same feeling has kind of been there. And it's been really hard, and I've just been uncomfortable, and I guess that's kind of like the best way I can describe it. It's just this like uncomfortable feeling, knowing that like something bad is going to happen. It's like you're not wanting to think about it, but you know that it's happening. And for me, I've been trying to plan. Like, I'm a planner, right? And so it's like, okay, I've got these things coming up. Like, okay, if this happens, then I've got to cancel this, because there was no not going back up for this funeral. And that's one of the other things that is kind of, I guess, adds to this feeling for me is, I left Philadelphia when I was 18 years old. I went to college and I came down to Atlanta and after college, and I've only gone back like, a handful of times. And I've lost touch with a lot of the friends that I had in high school. I really don't talk to anybody that I went to college with. But high school, like, I only really keep in touch with a few people. One specifically, Terry, he's my partner in the Menfluential Media company. But I go back once in a while. And a few years ago, my other friend got sick. And I decided, okay, I need to start making it a point to go up and see these people at least once a year. And so 2 years ago, I went up and we got together with a bunch of friends, all the guys that I wrestled with, all the guys that I'd get drunk with and we'd go and do stupid shit with. And it was so amazing just to reconnect with people. But when you do that, or when I do that, one of the reasons why I don't love going back up to Philadelphia, and I'm sorry I'm just kind of like dumping everything, is it's just all kind of like, I don't know, is that I didn't have a great experience up there. I had some abusive stepfathers that weren't amazing. My high school days, I just didn't enjoy that time. I was embarrassed, growing up the way that I did. But, it's still home. And, going up there and seeing people and reconnecting with them, it's so cathartic. And it's also just something that, it's so like, it's funny. I think we spend a lot of time like running. Sorry. We spend a lot, at least I should say I think spend a lot of time like running and trying to get away from something. But when something like this happens, or I go up and I reconnect with the people that kind of like knew me like when I was a kid and I knew them, it's powerful. And it really feels good to just have this connection again, And, the thing, I guess, with friends from high school is that you were friends because you were put together. Once you get older, once you get out of high school, out of school, then you get to choose the people that you want to basically associate with or your friends. But in high school, you gravitate towards the people that you just have a connection with, and the people that you just grew up with, and you've known them from a long, young period, and you were friends with them, and you did sports together, and you had all the same experiences. And it's good at this stage of my life. I'm almost 50, to go back and just reconnect and see them, and I realize that it's so important to tell people that you love them. It's so important to tell them that you care about them or thank them for whatever value they brought to your life. And so tomorrow, I don't even know what to expect. He was a teacher. He was a football referee. And he grew up in the town that he worked in. And I think it's going to be just insanity. A lot of people probably going to show up, and a lot of people that I haven't seen in literally, 30 years. And so all of these things for me have just been kind of like making me go down like memory lane and just kind of reminisce. And I used to try to hide that. I used to try to push that down. I used to try not to let myself go back there because of the negative hardships that I faced and the things that were not good. But allowing yourself to kind of sit in and just kind of like, settle into that feeling and just allow yourself to kind of like feel all the feelings and be there emotionally or, spiritually or whatever it is. It's, I think it's good. Sorry. And anyway, I just felt like today I needed to kind of just talk about what I'm about to deal with because, You all are going to have to deal with it. If you haven't yet, you're lucky. But death sucks. And it's hard. And cancer, fuck you. Like, seriously, like, fuck you. And so, I guess the lesson, the business lesson, the life lesson I'd like to leave you with today is take your shot. You never know when your ticket's going to be punched and when your time is done. And I would hate for you to regret not trying or doing something that you wanted to. Live your life every day like it's the last. I know it's cliche, but it's the truth. You never know when it's going to be over. And tell the people that you love them. And go get checkups annually. And so the good news is that my blood work came back today. And apparently, from everything I can tell, I'm feeling pretty good. And I'm healthy. And so work out, eat right, don't smoke, don't do drugs, don't drink. And tell somebody that you love today that you love them. Because you never know when you're going to not be here or they might not be here. Anyway, thanks for listening. And I'll see you next week. I'll tell you next week a little bit more about this stubble buddy. Speaking of death, that thing was dead. But anyway, love you and just wanted to thank you for listening and letting me share something that I'm dealing with. And just let you into kind of my world today. Tomorrow's going to be fucking horrible, though. And I'm dreading it. But I got to show up because I owe it to my friend. Jason, love you, brother. Rest easy.